Ghazal, you can swipe back and forth to see everybody on the screen. But we're going to go ahead and get started, okay?
Sounds good.
Last time to back out.
Okay, no, I'm okay. I can do this. I can do it.
Sounds good. All right. All right. So welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in again. We're now on week 4 of our AMAs, our group chats. Today we have a special guest who's a board member with Hollywood PAL, which means she's technically my boss, and she's part of the reason that helps or gets our organization funding and resources to keep all of our programs running. So we're really excited to have Miss Ghazal with us today. Miss Ghazal?
Hi guys, how are you?
Good.
I know some of you are on mute, and I know some of you turned your video off. I'm so excited to be here. You are also awesome to see on Zoom. So cool.
So Miss Ghazal is a premier banker over at Wells Fargo. Miss is a premier banker over at Wells Fargo. She's going to give us a lot of instruction and information on some financial situations and some help with that regards to our financings. But also she has a great story that she's going to share with us. So we're really excited to get into it today, okay?
So, well, that's a lot.
So Miss Ghazal, take us to your childhood. Where did you grow up?
Oh man.
What type of circumstance was it? Yeah, just walk us through that.
Well, so I was not born in this country. I was born in Iran. I'm sure you guys have heard of that country, but I came here when I was a baby with my family. And
first of all, tell them where Iran is located.
Does anyone know?
A lot of our kids are good in geography.
So Iran is in the Middle East. Have you guys heard of the Middle East? Yeah.
Alberto, you heard of it? You know where it's at?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. Where is it at, Alberto?
In Europe?
A little bit south,
further east.
close.
In that direction. Do you guys know where India is?
In Europe?
Okay. In that direction.
Close.
But so they're east of Europe, then there's down a little bit south, there's India, there's Iran, there's Saudi Arabia. Do you guys know are you familiar with the language of like Arabic or Farsi? Have you heard of that? Okay. So those languages come from those countries in that area.
So yeah, walk us through it. You were born in Iran. How was it growing up in Iran? How was it growing up overseas?
Well, I actually didn't grow up there. When I was 1, there was actually a revolution, a civil war kind of starting in the country, right? So there was a lot of violence. There was a lot of just terrible things happening. So my parents didn't want to raise a baby there. So we moved out here to the United States. And yeah, when I was a little baby, they left with 2 suitcases and came here and worked really hard and made a great life for me and my sister. She was born here. So.
Okay. So you were just learning how to speak a little bit when you came over. Was your first language Arabic? Was your first language?
Farsi. So my first language was Farsi. My parents spoke Farsi, and my dad still speaks very broken English. But so in the home we spoke Farsi, and then when I went to school, that's when I learned English. I was really young, I really remember that, but I think a lot of you kids speak languages, so it's kind of the same, right?
Show of hands, how many of you guys know what Farsi is or can speak Farsi? Nobody? Oh, nobody at all? Just one person? Only you, Ghazal?
What other languages do you guys speak? If you guys hit the mute button, if you go to your, have you muted them or what's happening?
No.
Can you guys hear me? Make sure you're not on mute.
Yes. Yeah.
Who speaks Spanish?
Me.
Whoa, that's a
Nice.
lot. That's a lot.
Awesome. Do you guys speak to your parents in Spanish?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I speak to my parents in Farsi. So that's good. It's good to know more languages, right?
Yeah.
Does show of hands, does anybody speak anything other than Spanish? Go ahead, Mr. Colmeres. What do you speak, Mr. Colmeres?
English.
Oh, good. Very
Accurate.
good. What about Imparetz? How do you say your name? I'm sorry.
Acomodares.
Emperatriz.
Emperatriz.
Very.
No, I was there this morning.
At the bank? Nice.
My babies.
Your babies.
My grandkids, kids.
Ah, nice. Nice. Very nice.
You have grandkids.
I have
Very young. Oh my gosh.
Do you speak another language? I'm sorry.
She speak English. All of them speak English and Spanish.
English and Spanish.
Very
Me a
nice.
little bit English.
Very
No,
nice.
your English is great.
Thank
I
you.
know officers Lear and Lee speak other languages. Do you guys know that?
No,
No.
You guys should tell us what you speak. It's awesome.
thank you.
Go ahead, Lee.
Oh, me first, huh? Well, I dabble in a little bit of Portuguese, and I am currently practicing my Spanish because the funny thing is I learned Spanish before I learned Portuguese, and Spanish is a better pick here, so I have to, brush up on it. So I recently watched this one video, and I'm reading a book called The Bilingual Brain, and one thing kids learn, all you guys who are bilingual or multilingual, you technically acquired the language before you learned it, because kids don't learn language, don't really learn language till we go to school. That's when they teach us grammar and structure. Other than that, we acquire it. We acquire through sounds, noticing things our parents are doing, because it's our first way to communicate. We don't come out the womb writing, right? So sounds is how we do it. So according to the U.S. State Board, it takes 600 hours to acquire Spanish because it's a level 1 language. So if you're practicing it 11 hours a week, within 6 months, you should learn it. So I'm challenging myself on that. So I make sure I get between an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. So we'll see 6 months from now, y'all can test me, okay?
I've heard you. You're pretty good. And what about Officer Lear? I know he speaks some cool languages.
I speak the language of beating up little kids. So if you get on my nerves, I'm gonna beat you
Put that on
guys.
camera.
So Miss Ghazal, you come over. You're 1 year old. You get here. Tell us what it's like to be here as a young kid in a new land. I know you weren't used to growing up in Iran, but once you got over here, was there a big adaptation period for you? Adjustment period? Talk to us about that a little bit.
Yeah, so one thing that one thing that was a challenge for me growing up, I don't know if your parents are strict, but parents in Iran generally very strict, especially the dads when they have girls, right? They are super strict. They're very protective, right? And they grew up differently than kids out here. So when I came out here, I wanted to do all the cool things that other kids were doing, like sleepovers and parties. And it was just really hard for my parents to understand the things I wanted to do and let me do stuff. So I was always trying to fight with them to let me do things and go see my friends. And it was rough. But, I feel like it made me better. I know some of you probably experienced that. Your parents are strict about some things and you don't realize why, and you just fight with them. I promise you'll find out the reasons later. It'll make sense.
So strict, like they didn't let you stay out past 8 o'clock, or what were some?
In high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when I went to private schools, I was very lucky in that sense. But when I went to school, the kids at that time didn't look like me. So the kids that I went to school with were blonde and blue eyes. I have brown hair. I have brown eyes, which is beautiful. I love the way I look, but they didn't look like me, and I didn't have a really great time. And to be honest, I got bullied I got bullied for being different than most of the kids. You know, and we didn't know it was called bullying then. It was just teasing when I was growing up. But now we know that it's a terrible thing that people do that really hurts other people for a long time. So I got bullied, and I just was really unhappy. So when I was old enough, I actually told my parents I wanted to go to a different high school where there was more people that were from different places, different colors, different backgrounds, different languages, and it was so much better.
So what high school? What high schools did you go to?
I went to Chaminade School. I live in the San Fernando Valley, and it was a Catholic school. I mean, I'm not religious, but it was a great school. They told you to be a good person, and there was sports. My other school didn't have sports, so it was really fun. I got involved in sports. I played a little basketball. I was terrible. The only basket I ever scored was for the other team once.
I think Officer Lee could relate to that.
I thought you were the Louisville girl the whole time, so you know.
Nope. I thought I was so cool. I was on the basketball team. Yeah, but I was terrible. But I loved being part of the team. I loved just, being accepted by my friends. And it was really nice to see different kinds of people. So diversity was so important for me. And then
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So one of our kids is actually I can't say graduating, but he's getting out of 8th grade and going into high school. You want to raise your hand? You want to let us know who you are?
Who's going to high school?
Mr. Alvin.
Nice.
He's getting ready to go into high school next year. So any words of encouragement for him going into high school? I think I like what you said about trying to make friends and observing diversity. That's really cool.
It was, well, let me ask you, are you excited about going to high school?
Yeah, I'm excited and like sort of scared at the same time.
Well, what's the thing that you're scared of?
'Cause like, it's like a new school and like, we don't know, and I don't know like how the kids like react and stuff.
Okay. So you don't know how they would react to you? Like if they're going to love you or how it's going to go? Is that what it is?
Yeah, like how it's going to go and stuff.
So here's the awesome thing about high school. So is it going to be a lot of new people for you? Okay. So here's something really awesome that's also scary, but more awesome than scary about going to a new school where you have all these brand new people you can meet and get to know. Basically, you can start fresh, right? You show people how great you are. There's different kinds of people, so you might get along better with some. Maybe there's sports that you like. There's groups that you can get involved with. There's just so many different things you can do and different people that you can become friends with that you're not limited in any way. So there's going to be something awesome no matter what. I promise you. I know it's super scary because change is so scary, and it's scary to make new friends because everyone wants to be cool, right? And no one wants to really step up and start talking to other people. But a great way to get past that is maybe join some sports teams or, I don't know if you guys have like band or I don't know what groups you have, but groups are a great way to make friends.
I think, Jose, are you on? Jose, I believe you're going to high school next year too. Are you on, Jose?
Yeah.
Aren't you going to high school as well?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Say it again.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about it?
I'm kind of excited, but also nervous because it's a new school.
Yeah, you're going to Hollywood High School, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Great. Hopefully you're listening and taking some words of encouragement. Or are you able to see him, Ghazal?
Can't see Jose.
He's the one with the big A.
Oh, great picture.
So anyway, after high school, what happens then? Do you go on to college? Do you continue your education?
Yeah, so when I was a senior in high school, I actually got a job working at the bank. My parents got me a job working at the bank. I did not want to work at all. I really just liked not having any responsibilities, right? But I started working as a teller, and then I graduated and I kept working part-time. And then after high school, I actually went to Cal State Northridge, California State University Northridge, close by, and studied, but worked the entire time, went to school. So, and I've been with the bank a very, very long time, but I was fortunate enough to be able to also go to school while I worked. So
it's the same bank, Wells Fargo, it's the same bank?
Same bank.
Wow. So you've been there a while. Wow. Super cool.
Super long time.
Do you ever go into the big vault and touch all the money and throw it up in the air and roll around in? Do you ever do that?
I mean, who doesn't? We just, no.
So Officer Lear wants you to go into his Scrooge McDuck, fantasy.
Are you kids too young to know what Scrooge McDuck is? Because it's like the best cartoon ever. And he had this big room with all these gold coins, and he would go swimming in his gold coins.
Exactly.
It's like everybody who ever watched that cartoon wanted to just swim in gold coins. It was the coolest thing.
Alberto, you shaking your head.
Yeah.
That means you've seen it? Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Are you
Anybody
guys
else?
shy? Is that what's happening? Don't be shy.
Oh no, they're gonna have some questions later. They'll have some questions later for you. So you graduate from college.
Yeah.
Now you have the job on the side, which is really cool, but you graduate from college. What's that next step like? Talk us through that. You're going into the real world. You're experiencing things on a mature level now. What's that like?
Well, so I was working part-time the whole time I was going to school, but it is really different when school is your main focus and you're just kind of working on the side. But then once you are out of school, then that's when you need to start being an adult and acting like one, right? So I started working full-time. My parents, actually a little bit earlier on, they were like, you pay your own bills. You want to go shopping, you pay for your own stuff. I lived at home, obviously, so my food and everything else my parents paid for, but if I wanted to go out, I paid for it myself, and I had a job, so I had no excuses. Yeah.
I forgot to. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, we kind of skipped over what you majored in, and did your major help you out in your career progression at all?
So indirectly, yes. Psychology was my major, and it's because I really enjoy understanding kind of how your brain works. And for me also growing up in a family, a foreign family, there was just like a lot of things I dealt with and thoughts I struggled with and challenges. So it was it's nice to know why we do the things we do. And I like to understand other people also, because I think it's so important to just to be happy and know that people are why they do the things they do. Because sometimes we get upset for no reason. But if you try to figure out why, then sometimes you realize it's not so bad, right?
Good point. Very good point.
So it helps me every day because I see people every day. Every single day I go to work, I deal with all sorts of different people, some nice, some not so nice, some stressed out, some sad, some happy. And it helps you work with different kinds of people, I think.
Very, very good point. So good question too, Officer Lee. I was going to come back to that, but now that you're working in the real world, and you have this basis of being in the bank for a while, talk to us a little bit about financial responsibility. Where did you start learning financial responsibility? When did you realize that it had to be an important role or aspect of your life?
The first time my parents told me that I had to pay my own anything, actually. I think it was a credit card I got when I was a teenager that they got for me. The first time I had to pay it myself, it was like, whoa. Before I used to just take the credit card and spend, and then my parents, somehow it would magically get paid. Right?
Swipe.
Yep. You just take this card. I had a gas card when I started driving. All I knew was I used the card, and all of a sudden it was all paid for, and it was cool. But
I don't mean to cut you off, but show of hands, how many of you understand how a credit card works? Show of hands. Yuritsa, explain to us how a credit card works.
Okay, let's see. So first, you have to swipe the card on a machine, then enter your PIN number, and then what was it? Then you're done.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? That's it.
Oh wait, and then write your signature sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it, right? And you know that you just got to take home stuff and all you had to do was swipe a card.
So what happens, Alberto? Explain to us. What happens after you swipe that card? What happens to that transaction? Explain to us.
So what happens when you get a credit card? When you pay it, it's gonna show you the amount that the amount you paid for. Well, I'm not sure what, the clothes, the food, or whatever. It's gonna show you the amount, and then how do you say? And then the amount of money that you wasted will go to
Good.
the how do you say, the person who
Credit card company.
who told you that they have to scan the card right there, and then they'll have money, and then the credit card's money will turn into real money, like cash. I'm not sure if that's true.
Not bad. Not bad. Who
We don't
knows when?
Mercy? Unmute, sweetie. Good.
So a credit card works, so pretty much it's borrowed money that the bank gives you, and whenever you pay something, you give it back to the bank in sections
Yeah.
at the end of the month.
Yes. Do you guys know what it means?
Very good, Mercy.
That was really good. Yes. It's borrowed money. So this little plastic card that you have, right? You use it to buy stuff and you spend all this money and it's not cash. So you just use your card and then all of a sudden you get a bill from the bank that says, hey, you owe us $500. What? What do you mean? I just swiped a card a few times. But yeah, so that's money that they let you use, but now you have to pay it back. Alberto, is your hand up? Unmute.
How does the credit card turn into money?
The credit card doesn't turn into money. So basically what happens is the bank gives you this card, okay? And you have a limit. So you can go and use it at different stores and it's like they give you a credit, right? So that I'm the bank and I pay them the money and you get your groceries, okay? At the end of the month, I send you a bill. The bank says, hey, I paid for your groceries because you used the card. Now you owe me the money for the groceries, right? Does that make sense? So every month you have to pay back all of that money that you spent.
Go ahead, Alberto, go ahead.
What I meant was, like, how does the credit card, like how you say, like when you scan it, it's gonna show you like the amount of money. How does it like produce money? Like, how can you pay with the card? What does it have in the card? Because when my mom scans the card, I'm like, how does that thing produce money? I mean, it's just a card. I mean, like, it's not like gold.
Yeah, so it has all sorts of, even though it's just a card, it has all sorts of like it has a little computer chip in it, and it has all sorts of stuff programmed onto it. So every time they swipe it, they get all your bank account information or all of your other information, and that's how they get paid, and that's how we find you to ask you to give us the money back.
So it's attached to your bank account. That's one way of looking at it. So you have to establish some money in the bank, and that card is attached to that bank account. Who knows? I don't know if you guys listened to it or not, but Ms. Ghazal said you get a statement in the mail. So you go and pay for your groceries, your tennis shoes, whatever it may be, and then maybe a month later you get a bill saying you have to pay for that purchase. You have to pay for those groceries, those tennis shoes, whatever it is. And my question to you guys is, what happens if you don't pay by the date on that bill? Does anybody know? Show of hands. What happens if you don't pay on that date? Go ahead, Alberto.
If you don't pay the bill, they're gonna send you another bill, and they're gonna tell you, why aren't you not paying? And if you never pay, like you never ever pay, they're gonna put you in jail.
Whoa.
I mean, they're gonna put you in jail for just not paying and just wasting money and not paying the bank back.
Not bad. Go ahead, Yuritsa.
I think the bank is gonna charge you more fee, more money.
You got it. Go ahead, Ghazal, explain to us.
So if you don't pay all the money back, we're going to say, okay, we'll send you another bill next month, but we're charging you even more. So every time you don't pay all of what you spent, we're going to keep adding more money to it. So a pair of shoes that you bought for $50, if you don't pay on time and you wait, it could end up costing you a lot more. So it could end up costing you $70 for no reason. That's how banks make their money. People don't pay the money back in time, and we get to charge extra. But Alberto, nobody wants to put anybody in jail, sweetie. Banks don't come after you trying to put you in jail. But if you don't pay the money back, you end up owing even more money. And if you keep doing that, then nobody will ever give you a credit card again. It's like they give you a chance, and you have to show banks and anyone else that you are responsible, right? That you can use it and not spend too much and pay it back. Are you raising your hand or are you covering your face? I can't tell.
Alberto has a lot of questions. Go ahead.
It's because I thought that the money, like, taxes, is because in my school, they said that if you don't pay the taxes, you'll go to jail. If you don't pay it. So I thought that was the same process for the bank. The
taxes, no. So taxes are a little different, but you don't automatically go to jail if you don't pay your taxes. Okay, everybody should pay taxes. I don't even know how we got on this, but just so you know, it's a lot more complicated, but nobody wants to throw anybody in jail. There are going to be consequences if people keep not doing what they're supposed to do, right? If they keep breaking their promises to pay money back or whatever. But jail is not the first thing that happens anywhere, unless you really break the law. But
Go ahead, Yuritsa.
My question is, how much chances do they give you until they take away your credit card? How many chances?
Good question.
Good question. So it's going to depend, right? So not everything is just set rules. Let's say that you've had a credit card for 10 years and you've always used it really well and you've always paid the money back, and then something happened and 1 month you didn't work enough hours, you didn't make enough money, and something happened, you couldn't pay it back. They're not going to take it away because they know you've done so well you showed you're responsible, right? But let's say somebody gets a brand new credit card and they just start spending and they don't pay right from the beginning. They're just really irresponsible at it. We'll take it away pretty quickly and we'll never give you another one as long as you're irresponsible. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh my God, you guys are so cute.
So Mercy's getting ready to take a big step. Mercy is getting ready to go possibly into the military, possibly to college. And Mercy, I always worry about you as far as your financial responsibilities or your maturity when it comes to that. Do you have a question for Ghazal about how you should start saving money or what you should do? Because when I was in your position, I had the same type of questions or concerns. What am I going to do to start making money or to save money? Or what are some of the things I should do with some of my earnings? So do you have a question for Ghazal?
Yes. Because my mom said that when I turn 18 and I start working, that the bank starts giving you cards so that you can get a credit card, right? But I don't know. I know how a credit card works, but then when it comes to a debit card, I'm really confused and I don't know which one is the best one to choose to save. To be able to save.
Good question, Mercy.
So I can actually, there's a lot more to this than the simple answer I'm going to give. So I can actually give all my contact information to you and you can call me and we can talk about it in a lot of detail. But
okay.
When you guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but when you become 18 years old, you are legally an adult. Does anyone know what that means? Raise your hand if you know what that means.
Me.
Okay, take yourselves off of mute. Tell me what it means. Tell me.
Means your parents don't control you anymore.
Oh, okay, your parents don't control you, but what else do they not do? They do not pay your bills.
Oh, yeah.
They don't pay your bills, and so everything you do, you are directly responsible for. Sorry, those are my dogs. So before you turn 18, if you do something wrong, your parents are responsible for you, right? They get to deal with the situation. You turn 18, you do something wrong or right, but you are directly responsible.
Alberto.
If you're what kind of like kids that are like 9 or like how do you say 5? No, like 5 to upper. Why can kids from like 11 years can't get a credit card? I want to get a credit card right now.
Do you think that you're responsible enough to get a credit card?
Yeah, I'll pay all the bills.
Oh yeah? You pay all the bills?
Money. I dance in Hollywood. That's why I'm famous there.
I don't even know how to react to that. What kind of dancing do you do, Alberto? Talk to me. So Alberto, you said you pay all the bills?
Nah, not all the bills, but
you pay some of them?
Mm-hmm.
What bills do you pay?
Light.
You pay the light bill?
Yeah, and the gas.
And the gas? With your own money?
Yeah.
Is your mom or dad there? Can I ask?
They're busy.
Are they?
They're watching TV.
Oh yeah?
We actually
I'm alone.
We actually had a dance contest last week with our guest speaker, and Alberto won that dance challenge. So I actually believe him when he says he might dance on Hollywood Boulevard for money. I kind of believe him when he says that.
Maybe, but I don't believe you pay the bills.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't think you pay the light bill.
I do. I'm a boy of business.
Who just walked by you? Let's ask.
That was my sister.
Uh-huh.
But Mercy, going back to Mercy's question, Mercy, I thought that was a really good question. A debit card,
I actually have another one.
Yeah,
Go
please.
ahead. Go ahead, Mercy.
Okay, so I was talking to one of the officers, Officer Pio Monte, about it because I'm really confused about it. But there's something about an interest when it comes to credit cards, and I really don't know what does interest mean when it comes to bank cards.
But before you answer that, Ghazal, Mercy, can you give us a hair flip? Just one hair flip? Go ahead, Ghazal.
Is that a thing? I like it. I like the hair flip. Okay, so the short, simple version is there's a debit card, right? Debit is the same as an ATM card, and then there's a credit card. Your debit card is the one you take to the bank and you put in the ATM machine, you can get cash out. So when you use your debit card, it has to be money that you already have in your account. If you don't have money in your account, you can't use that card, okay? Credit card is the card I was telling you about, is you can go use it, and at the end of the month, you're gonna get a bill from the bank that says, hey, you bought all of this stuff, we paid for it, now you have to pay us back, okay?
Okay.
Interest, do you remember I was talking about fees? So let's say that you spent, how much money do you guys spend, like on shoes? 100 bucks, 50 bucks?
150.
Gee, what? Okay. You buy a $150 pair of shoes, right? You use your credit card. 30 days later, you get a bill that says, hey, you owe us $150 for those shoes. And you don't have the money, right? Because you were irresponsible and you spent money you didn't have, but you don't have $150. You go, okay, here's $50. So now you still owe me $100. I'm going to charge you interest. Interest is money on top of that money. So it's basically like penalties for not paying your bill in time and carrying it over to the next month. So the rate, if it's 10%, 20%, whatever it is, that's how much I'm going to charge you. I'll charge you 20% of $100. That's a lot. You're paying a lot more money for something that didn't cost that much. So there's two kinds of cards.
Does that
your question?
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it does actually. It makes more sense now.
That's really important. You have to understand that when your credit card bill comes in, you want to pay that off as soon as possible. You should pay it off every month. That's exactly what Ms. Ghazal said. If not, you're going to incur interest on that bill. and you're just going to keep, it's just going to keep rolling over and rolling over. And like she said, the $150 shoes that you bought, they'll soon be $700 if you don't pay that bill off at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Really important that you learn that now.
Yeah. And like I said, I'll have Officer Lear give you my information, and I can break it all down for you, because you guys, in anything, the more questions you ask, the better. And every question is important to ask. So always ask questions until you understand completely, please.
Alvin, you or your sister, you guys have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. So her first part-time job was at Wells Fargo. How did you feel that that was your first part-time job? Did you like it? Were you nervous or?
So I have a younger sister. I don't know if I told you guys this, and we're very opposite. Okay, I'm the older one, and I liked doing things on my own. So before that, I used to ask my parents' friends to let me come to their places where their business is, and I would do some stuff, and they paid me like $2 an hour. I just liked making money. So I actually started at the bank, and I loved that I got to go to work, and my parents' friends weren't there, and I was actually earning my own money. And I learned a lot. I wasn't working that many hours because I was really young still, but it's a little scary, right? Because it's all these adults. But when you start getting paid and you make your own money, it feels so good. It's really nice. But you also realize how hard it is to make money. So when I started working, I realized that buying a $150 pair of shoes takes a lot of work to be able to get enough money to do that. I had no idea. A lot of us don't.
Was this your dream job? I know you said you got into it early. You started working at the bank when you were still in school. What was your dream job when you were in school? And talk to us about that.
It's kind of a hard question to answer, but I know that I wanted to be a psychologist at one point. And because, like I said, I really like helping people. However, so whether it's sitting and listening or helping, build something or raise money or whatever it is, I really enjoy helping people. So I wanted to be a psychologist for that reason, but life had different plans for me. But what I do enjoy is that I'm still in a position where I'm able to help people. May not have the title, but I get to talk to different people every single day and do little to help. I get to talk to you guys and hopefully help you in some way. So the helping piece and the people thing that I wanted to do so much, I'm still doing. So in that sense, I love what I do.
You're actually doing it, exactly. Like a lot of the kids, they don't understand. Miss Ghazal, she comes in and she talks to our kids at any time. Like she's offering her contact information. She's doing that because she wants to help you guys achieve financial independence, to be on a better standing in regards to your finances. And for somebody in her place, position, stature to do that for somebody in our group, in our organization is really cool. So hopefully you guys take advantage of that. First of all, listen to the things that she's saying and take advantage of it and give her a call. She took some of her time to come down and talk to a group of our kids one time. I think actually twice. It was a youth council that we had, and she would come down and speak to those girls about anything from putting on makeup. Mercy, are you listening? From putting on makeup to having boyfriends, whatever it may be. She's going to spend her time, like she says, because she wants to help out people.
I know there's a lot of things you guys have questions about that sometimes maybe we don't feel comfortable asking. You can ask me anything.
Go ahead, Alberto.
Do you still work in the bank still?
Say that again?
In the pandemic of the COVID-19, are you still working in the bank?
Yeah, I'm still working every single day. Banks are considered essential businesses, right? We need to make sure that we're there in case people start freaking out about you know, their money, making sure it's safe. A lot of people are going through a really hard time right now. So we need to be there to make sure that we let them know it'll be okay. We help them however we can. So very important. Any other questions? Who have I not heard from? It's Galaxy Tab A.
It's Kevin.
Sure.
Go ahead with your question.
Okay, what can kids under the age of 18 do?
Or everything somebody else spends money on for you, like your parents take you out to dinner or whatever it is, start keeping track of how much it costs. Because I think if you realize how much money things start to cost, you'll become more careful with what you spend your money on, right? And realize what's important and what's not. Also, when you're 13, you can, your parents can take you in and you can actually open a checking account. Obviously, they're going to supervise it, but you can get your own card and start to learn how to use an account. So 13 and older can do that, but everybody at every age needs to start keeping track of how much they spend.
Good point. Good point. Kevin, go ahead.
Kevin, I want to hear from you though.
Oh, so it's kind of hard, but my mom doesn't believe I'm doing my homework early.
Okay.
So then I'm trying to wake up way more later, but then I don't get to do my homework where there's less, how would I say it? Like noises in the morning. Cause like.
So you do your homework in the morning, not at night?
No.
Why?
Because my teachers assign the homework around 7. So like I have to wake up like a little before that so then I could get ready to do it.
Oh my God, there's a puppy. They assign your homework at 7 in the morning or at night?
Morning.
Okay. So if they assign it in the morning, why don't you do it after you're done with your classes during the day? Like in the afternoon?
Because then my sister is doing homework and like it's very hard for her. And like she has like a lot to do and she's barely in kindergarten. So
and
then
you help her?
Yeah, but then like she stops like working, I don't know, like at noon. And then like I hear like her outside screaming because she's playing a lot. So then like it's not really comfortable doing my homework.
So maybe you can ask your mom if she can, you're trying to do diet time.
Okay.
Yeah. You can have Officer Lear or Officer Lee call your mom too if you like.
Hey, Kevin, how old are you?
12.
What grade is that?
Well, I'm technically going to move to like middle school. And it's kind of like scary, I guess.
Middle school can be scary. But everything is only going to be as scary as you let it be. So if you go in there and you know you're going to do great and you're going to make friends and you're positive, it's going to be great.
Great advice. Great advice. Are you scared? You a little scared, Kevin?
Like average scared from my normally, like from normal, but like yes, I guess you could say I'm scared.
When is your first day? Do you want us to have some police officers go with you? I'm just kidding. That would scare away all the kids. Don't be scared. Sometimes scared is good. Scared can be excited, right? It's not always a bad thing. but it's exciting, just like going to high school.
Good questions, Kevin. Very good question. Thanks for being part of our chat. Andrea, I want to go to you, Andrea. You're going to be a senior in high school.
Andrea?
Are you there, Andrea? Or is it just Jose?
I'm here.
So you're a senior in high school. Do you know what you want to do after high school?
Not really.
What type of inkling do you have? What are you looking into?
Culinary school.
Nice. Taste tasters, taste.
Like really teach us how to cook, I guess.
Yes.
No, it's where they teach us how to cook.
Don't be shy. We can't see you, so don't be shy.
It's where they teach us how to cook.
Nice. So you like cooking?
Yes.
So Andrea, which culinary schools have you looked into?
I haven't looked at any.
So look up LA Trade Tech and Los Angeles Mission College. They're city colleges. You can end up going for free, and you get an associate's degree out of it. So you'll save some of that money, like what Ms. Ghazal is telling you guys about, and they're local to you, okay?
Okay.
Andrea, one of the reasons why I asked you about next year and had you ask questions for Ms. Ghazal is because you showed interest in being in our youth council this year. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do it, but like I said before, Ms. Ghazal comes down and speaks with our youth council and gives them some great advice. So hopefully you'll be in our youth council next school year, and you'll be able to speak more with Ms. Ghazal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was awesome. Those girls were great. It's a great group. If you guys can join groups like that, you absolutely should do it. Why are you guys so quiet? Anyone else?
So,
can we all look at this puppy? Can we all talk about how beautiful this puppy is? Oh my goodness.
Really cute. Really cute. Go ahead, Alberto.
Go ahead. Where is he?
Can I start a bank account?
Good question, Alberto. Good question.
How old are you?
I'm 11.
In 2 years, you can start a bank account, but a checking account. But right now, you can ask your parents to take you to open a savings account. You can start putting money in there and saving it. Oh, we have another puppy.
I know, Mr. Comares, nice puppy.
I know. How many of you guys have puppies? Raise your hands. Anyone? Puppies? Who has dogs? Yay!
Two.
You have 2?
Wow.
Mr. Comares, what is your puppy's name?
Cookie.
Cookie? Is that what he said?
I don't know if he said Cookie or Lucky.
Cookie.
Cookie, yeah. Mercy, what's your dog's name?
Oh, we called her Tiny because in the Life of Pets, there's a dog that looks like her, and her name's Tiny. That's why. Yeah. And she's really small. She's really small. It's a Chiweenie.
Oh, Chiweenie. So cute.
Ramos family, you have dogs? What's the name?
Blackie.
Bring Blackie.
We have a Blackie. He's a mix with a Chihuahua and a Labrador.
Oh, how cute! Do you love him?
Yes.
You guys are so excited.
We love him very much.
Good.
I have a question.
Yes, honey.
To start a debit card, do you need to have money to start the account?
Yeah, you have to have $25 at least for us. You can go to different banks; they have different amounts they want you to have, but you want to have money before you start a bank account, because if you don't have money, you can't use the card anyways.
And how about a credit card? Is it the same or is it different because you don't need to use
So
money.
credit card is different. You don't have to have actual money that you put into an account, but if you're not making money or don't have money, then it's not very responsible to get a credit card because you don't have money to pay it back. So a lot of banks, if they know that you don't have money or you don't have a job or whatever, they won't give you a credit card until maybe you can start paying it back.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Good question. So Ghazal, we normally try to get our guests out of here in an hour. So we got a couple more questions and then we're going to have a challenge. Are you up for a challenge today?
Maybe.
Yes.
Just to let you know, we have prizes for the challenge winner. And Yuritsa is a 2-time challenge winner on our AMA chat. So be careful with her.
Uh-oh.
So just a couple quick questions. What are you currently binge watching, or what have you binge watched during the lockdown period?
Oh, man, binge watched. I really like reruns. I really like The Big Bang Theory. I watch that a lot.
Great show.
Yeah, good show, right? I actually learned, I like science. I don't know. And I like crime shows. I like Criminal Minds. It's kind of scary, but it's fun. So, very good.
Ramos, I see Alberto said me too. I think he likes crime shows too. Ramos, I see Blackie. He's cute. He's really cute. Look at him. He's so peaceful too. Miss Ghazal, you see him?
Yeah, of course. I love that you guys all have your pups with you. Makes me so happy.
Right. What about binge food? What binge food, snacks, good or bad, that you're eating right now during the lockdown?
Oh man. So I don't know why, but when this first started, I thought everything was going to end and I needed to eat as much junk food as possible for some reason. That was my go-to. So cookies and Cheetos and oh my goodness, I don't know why. So anything that's bad for you, I ate. And now I can barely fit into my pants, but we'll figure it out.
I think our kids are big fans of Cheetos. Raise your hands if you're Cheetos fans. Look at almost all the hands go up.
Try the white cheddar Cheetos. Oh, they're so good.
I like Takis.
You like what? What's that?
I like Takis.
Okay.
You don't know what Takis are?
I have no idea. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, tell them, Ramos. Tell them what the Takis are.
They're spicy chips.
Are they like really spicy? Are they like the spicy Cheetos?
Kind of spicy.
Kind of spicy? Oh, so you like spicy. Nice. I'm a wuss. I can't do spicy.
So if there's a reincarnation, Miss Ghazal, if there's a reincarnation, what would you like to come back as? What animal, what person, what would you want to come back as if there is a certain thing as reincarnation?
I do believe in reincarnation.
Oh, nice.
Believer. I have no idea what I would want to come back as. I'd want to come back as maybe a monk, because they seem like they just train their whole lives to be peaceful and happy. Maybe a monk in my next life.
Nice.
You know what a monk is? Is that weird? Do you guys think I'm weird for that?
Mercy, what's a monk? Go ahead, Mercy. Alberto didn't know what it was, so go ahead and explain it.
From my understanding, a monk is somebody, it's a religion, like they practice some Buddhism, I think, and then they shave their heads and they practice like she said, they practice being happy and peaceful, and then sometimes they take vows of silence to protest against something. They're really peaceful.
Very good, Mercy.
Hindu monks or Buddhist monks, and monks it's not as much a religion as just a way of life. They just practice being happy and peaceful. And I've been lucky enough to talk to a couple in my life, and they seem so happy. They seem like they've got it figured out, guys. They know the secrets.
Go ahead, Hugo. You have a question?
Hugo. Where's Hugo?
He's the Ramos. I think they just froze though.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I think they just froze.
Okay.
So Last Supper, Miss Ghazal, Last Supper. If you were to have a Last Supper, 2 people that you would invite to the table with you, any 2 people, past or present.
Okay. Don't laugh at me. Elton John.
Okay.
Can I have 3 people?
Of course. It's your table.
I'm going to invite 3 people. Elton John, the Dalai Lama, and RuPaul. Do you guys know who those are? Do you guys even know who that is?
Wait, which Dalai Lama?
Huh?
Which Dalai Lama?
Dalai Lama.
Okay, okay.
He seems cool. He's like kind of with it.
Who knows who Elton John is? All right, Alberto, we'll see you later.
Alberto said, "What's the llama?" You're adorable.
Alvin, what are you laughing for?
Elton John is a really great singer. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but he's one of my favorite singers. So, and he has all these cool outfits.
Elton John actually sung a song from The Lion King. I'm sure you guys know what The Lion King is. He sung on that soundtrack.
Yeah.
Really,
And from the movie Sing.
What?
yeah.
The kids show called Sing. He's on there.
Okay, I don't know that. Not hip on the kid shows. Sorry. What is he laughing at? What is this little one laughing at? What about you guys? Do you have favorite singers that I would actually know their names? I don't know very many names of singers these days, or groups, or bands, or whatever you call them. I don't know. No? Nobody? Nobody?
So I think our kids are ready for the challenge. Miss Ghazal, ready for the challenge this week?
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay, we'll see. I'm a little nervous, I gotta be honest.
All right, show of hands, who wants to participate this week's challenge? Me, second host me. Yuritsa's always in. Alberto's in. Mercy's in. Kevin's in.
Come on, guys.
It's a lot of people joining the challenge.
Come on.
So this week's challenge, Officer Lee thought it should be a hair flip, but I'm gonna, we might not do that one because, yeah, we want to make it fair for everybody, including Alberto.
Yeah.
So let's say alphabet. How many of you guys know the alphabet? Looks like everybody knows the alphabet. All right, so the person that can recite the alphabet backwards with the fewest mistakes wins the prize. Got it? We always have a prize for you guys. So who can ever recite the alphabet backwards with the fewest mistakes wins. Cool? Okay. Who's up first?
I'll be last. I'll be last.
Go ahead, Kevin. You want to go first?
No way. No way. No.
Who wants? Alberto, you're up, buddy.
Wait, what's the challenge? Because my tablet got froze.
It's okay. You have to recite the alphabet backwards from Z to A with the fewest mistakes.
Oh.
Are you ready?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I just raised my hand for the challenge because it was
we'll do something easier, guys. We'll do something easier. Let's do a scavenger hunt. How are you guys with the scavenger hunt? Good?
Let's do it.
Good with that?
What do we do?
What do you have? First article. What do you think as far as the scavenger hunt? First thing that they could find in their house. Let's say a bottle of Coke. Who has a bottle of Coke in their house?
Why not you do the alphabet? What about the alphabet?
If you can do the alphabet
What
backwards.
about the alphabet?
I don't have one.
I don't have Coke.
Me too.
Very
So wait a second. Just so I understand, you guys want to do the alphabet or you guys want to do the scavenger hunt?
Alphabet. I don't know if I have all the things, so I rather do alphabet backwards.
Who was that said that?
Me, second post.
Okay, we can try it.
All right, for you who said that they can do the alphabet, let's go. Let's hear it.
Okay.
Is this Ramos?
Z Y X W V
Ghazal, stop cheating, Ghazal.
You didn't have any rules on there. You just said say the
S
Rule number one, don't cheat. Good job, Uni.
I can't. Wait.
Good job, Uni. That's good.
Can I go next?
Alberto, go ahead.
C Y
Alberto, look into the camera. Don't look down. Look into the camera.
Y V W.
Look up, Alberto. You're going the wrong way.
It's G Y Y. I messed up.
That's all right. We'll come back to you, Alberto. Who's next? Mercy?
I'll try, okay. Z, Y, X, W, E, okay. U, T, S, R, wait. Yeah, this is too confusing.
Not bad. Not bad. You're the leader so far, Mercy. You're the leader so far. All right, Yuritsa. Two-time champion, Yuritsa. Two-time champion. Let's hear it.
Let me go slow. Z Y X W B U T S R.
Yuritsa, close your eyes and do it.
Okay.
Close yours.
And Z Y X.
Okay.
Was she cheating? Is that what was happening?
Z Y X.
This is a hard one, Officer Lear.
This is, you know, when you get arrested for driving while you're drinking, they make you do this one in some cities and states. So, not saying that any of our kids are going to be caught drinking and driving, but this is something that police officers make you do.
Oh, Z Y X W. What else? Z U V W. V U T S S R Q E P
But you can't cheat.
O
You
N
either do
N
it, you either don't cheat,
L
or
Uh-oh. She's putting the pressure on.
after L is K J I H G F E is D.
She's putting the pressure on.
Okay, E D C B A.
Whoa.
Are you cheating? Do you have a written down somewhere? How do you know that by heart?
I'm trying to memorize it.
You're amazing.
Maybe soon to be
Can I
three-time
try?
champion.
Can I try again?
Who wants to try? Who is that said that?
Me. Again.
Go ahead, Uni.
If I did it.
Z Y X W V U T S R
Uni, I have
Q
to see you. I have to see you. Make sure you're not cheating.
It says my video is stopped by the host.
We'll unstop
That's
it.
why I have to that's why I had to do it by myself. I had to do it.
Okay.
Are you stopping their videos?
No.
I don't know who's the host, but it says you can't start your video because the host stopped it, and I don't know who's the host.
Hey, Jake, can you help with that? Yeah. We're gonna work on that right now, okay?
Okay. Let me just keep doing it. Z Y X W V U T S R Q P O M N L K J I H G F E D C B A.
Ah, very good. Very good.
We forgot C. Yeah, like doing business as.
So do you guys want to know a secret about me? I can't recite the alphabet without singing it to myself. So if I try to figure out where the letters are, I have to sing it. And I know that officers will ask you to do the alphabet backwards in some states. And I've always been so afraid of that. Even though I don't do anything wrong, I'm like, oh my God, if somebody asked me to do this, I'm never going to get it right and I'm going to jail.
So you literally sing it?
In my head, I sing it. I do.
Let's hear it.
No, am I the only one?
Hear it.
You guys don't sing the alphabet? Come on, be honest.
No, thank you. It's gonna be really hard.
I mean, you don't sing it in your head? Okay, what comes before R? You guys are singing it in your head right now.
That's hilarious. Too funny.
True.
Too funny. So, Miss Ghazal, are you gonna participate?
I tried for a second to myself, and I don't know. I have no idea what the alphabet backwards is.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So then you'll have to help us pick a winner then.
I mean, do you guys want a 3-time winner? 3 times in a row? Who's the one that did it, Officer Lear?
It's between Uni, it's between the one we couldn't see, and Yuritsa, the two twin Yuritsa. Alberto and Mercy are both on there as well, but Uni and Yuritsa both went further without mistakes than Alberto and Mercy.
Oh, what's happening there? Oh, Lord. Careful, she knows karate.
Right?
What do you guys think? Can we make it a tie or no? We don't like ties? Is that what's happening?
We don't do ties here.
It was another challenge. It just was so hard.
Well, that's
Say
the
it again.
challenge, my friend, for it to be hard.
Exactly.
Why
So, Ms.
not
Ghazal,
we do?
we'll let
a
you
dance-
decide, Ms. Ghazal.
I mean, I think we need to call Maritza the winner.
Yuritsa?
Yuritsa? Where I can't see your names, guys. Yuritsa's the winner, yes? The three-time
Three-time champion Yuritsa. Three-time champion.
Thank you.
We'll have to find something else to give you. Ms. Ghazal, thank you for spending your time with us. Thank you for being, I like the clappy hands everybody's doing. You're taking a nap.
Yep, I'm Sharon.
But before you go, any words of wisdom, words of encouragement you can leave our kids with? We do this for all of our speakers all the time. We ask them if they can inspire our kids in any ways with a sentence, a phrase, or something that they learned growing up.
Yeah. So one thing that you guys should always try to do in your lives is help somebody else's life be a little better. So do a kind thing for somebody, smile at a stranger, or just be nice. If someone's having a bad day, try to be there for them. Just try to make everyone's life a little better. And it makes your life better. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ms. Ghazal, you've been wonderful. We'll have you back again in person possibly to talk to our kids. Thank you for everything. All the kids that are left on, tomorrow we'll be back again at 2 o'clock. We have a Grammy-winning artist and actress who's been in the movie Spider-Man. She will be here tomorrow at 2 o'clock, so make sure you tune in. Ms. Ghazal.
Ask her make sure that you know that I was more awesome than whoever that is. I'm just saying.
It's going to be hard to beat you, Ms. Ghazal.
Hi, guys. Officer, you'll give my information to whoever wants to.
I definitely will.
I have a question. I mean,
bye.
What was that?
I have a.
We'll do it tomorrow, Alberto.
No, it's about the
It's what?
prize that I got for the dancing competition. I don't know how to get it.
Your medal, yeah, you have to come to the office, Alberto. Tell your mom and dad to come by the office and we'll give you your medal.
Also, can you put like my name in the
I didn't hear you, Alberto. Say it again.
My mom says that can you put like my name in the medal? Like in the medal,
We got it set aside for you, buddy. Don't worry about it.
Hi, Giggles.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, Kevin. Good luck in 7th grade.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, Ms. Ghazal.